You guys know what time it is. Get strapped in and ready for some good times. This is the Blowed Out Podcast. What is up, everybody? It is your fatty with a natty coming at you from the luxurious Blowed Out Podcast studios in Ogden, Utah. And I did it again. It keeps choking me up. We are halfway through the damn year. How in the hell is it June already? I don't understand that. I don't understand how half the year is gone already. Man, it has been a lot. My kid just graduated high school. We've been doing more hill climbs. Great time at the showdown at the Badlands, by the way. Thanks for having us. It was a great event. We did, I would say we did a lot of good. Well, I know we did a lot of good. Might not have been the best announcing, but in all fairness, there's a lot going on, and most people are not listening through their helmets anyhow, so most of it is just calling out classes and bikes and reminding people of the rules. But either way, we had a great time. Again, thanks for having us. Can't wait till the next one. I suppose we should just jump right in and talk about some things, obviously. It's Pride Month, apparently. Which, you guys know, I don't give a damn either way. Just don't. It's just like everything else. I don't care what you want to do. If you want to run around with a sparkly, I don't know, pink unicorn horn. Trying to think of stuff that won't be too offensive here, sorry. I don't care. Just don't shove it down my throat. However, here in Utah, Governor Cox just announced that there will be no Pride Parade, and UTA, the public transit authority around here, just announced that they will no longer be offering free rides with your Pride Parade ticket. And you would think that the world is officially coming to an end around here. You would think that Governor Cox pulled that sparkly pink device out of someone's butthole and stood on top of the temple screaming to the world that there will not be a Pride Parade, and locals are in an outrage. It blows my mind that people are so outraged over this. All he said is we're not going to divert public funds, taxpayer funds, to this parade. And the transit authority has every right, because they are a private entity, to tell you that no, you cannot ride their bus or their train or their trolley tried to come out, but you can't ride it for free just because you're going to the damn Pride Parade. Well, turns out there's not going to be one, so that sews that up. I cannot get over. Everybody is losing their shit, and apparently everybody that doesn't agree with it, of course, is a homophobic bigot. It's wild. Guys, that's not how this works. Just because we don't want to see taxpayer dollars go towards your Pride Month, which I swear we just had one, or Pride Week or Pride Day, which it feels like it's every other month and every other week and every other day now. That doesn't make those people bigots or homophobes. It just doesn't. It makes them elected officials who are choosing to do the right thing with taxpayer money, one of which is not your Pride Parade instead of a Veterans Day parade or anything else. But man, y'all are losing your minds. Well, some of y'all are losing your minds, and that shit is wild to me. Like up in arms, like probably building some pressure cookers somewhere, freaking out. And I don't understand it. It's wild, especially in Utah, where typically you will have people constantly bringing up the fact that they don't want the predominant local religion shoved down their throats. But in the same breath, they have no problem trying to shove their 82 genders or whatever down your throat. You can't make this shit up, guys. You just can't. I don't know, 100 and, some odd days ago, less than 180, had to try and do some quick math. Less than 180 days ago, a lot of people thought the world was coming to an end when Trump got reelected or retook office. I think the world is probably closer to coming to an end now with people losing their minds about this shit. Also, something is about to happen. The caldera is about to go or something when that godforsaken, we've talked about this before, guys, KJP, I'm trying to be nice, I promise, because I can't stand her. She just jumped ship and apparently decided she's no longer a Democrat that she served for however many years as the press secretary. Now she's writing a book saying it was all horseshit. Good Lord. Which, I don't know how she's going to write a book. Clearly she's not going to do it on her own because she can't formulate a complete sentence even worse than me. Or even, she has a harder time than me formulating a complete sentence or not just dancing around things. But apparently now she's going to come out and say it's all a sham. There's so much stuff coming to light, and I'm so glad I don't follow it very close. Christ, he just banned a whole bunch of countries from traveling to the U.S. And once again, this is why I just do the stuff we got going on around here. I would rather worry about what hill climb is coming up next, or what I got to fix on the car, or where my next cold drink is coming from, than worry about any of that mess, because there's so much of it and it's so crazy. I don't even know where to start, let alone what anybody can do about it. And I realize that's an unpopular opinion, but I'm full of those, so it is what it is. I couldn't honestly tell you where this is all headed at this point, and I don't know if anybody can. Honestly, most of it, well, I shouldn't say most of it, but a lot of it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And again, don't come at me. You guys know I do not follow this climate very closely, the political climate, very closely. So I'm genuinely trying to make heads or tails of a lot of it blindly. But just like this ban, this travel ban, some of the countries make sense to me. Even from the little bit that I've read up on it, some of the reasons even make sense to me. Overstaying visas, notorious countries for overstaying visas, or, countries that are notorious for harboring terrorists or whatever. But there are some countries on that list that just don't make sense to me, that have always been a thing. Like I said, a lot of the stuff he is doing doesn't make sense to me. A lot of it does, but a lot of it doesn't. But a lot of the stuff that the last one didn't make sense to me. I don't think anybody can tell you where it's actually headed. I don't even think he knows, to be honest. I hope somebody does. I truly do. But again, all we can do is see where it goes and see what happens at this point. Just seems strange. Like a lot of it seems like it's just shot from the hip. And granted, I love shooting from the hip. Half of this podcast is shot from the hip. However, I'm not trying to run a global superpower of a country. I'm just some dumb guy from Utah. So there's a lot of things I don't get. There's a lot of things I probably shouldn't get. I'll just stay in my lane for the most part. But before we go any farther down that rabbit hole, another way you can tell that I have worked in some capacity for the government for far too long is we have officially entered the 101 critical days of summer. For those of you who don't know, that is the 101 days between Memorial Day and Labor Day weekends. Side note, hope everyone had a fantastic Memorial Day weekend. Hope you got a chance to get out and spend it with your loved ones. And of course, honor those who have fallen protecting this great nation. Not only that day, but every day. And also everyone who has served this great nation in one capacity or another. We thank you, again, not only that day, but every day. Anywho, the 101 critical days of summer is the time of year when most of the, how shall I put it, most of the accidents happen that obviously don't the rest of the year. By that I mean all the bikes are out. Everybody's got their cars out. I just went outside to check the air and add some nicotine. And I can hear all the bikes and the cars screaming around. Just please be sure to keep your eyes open for bikes. Yeah, a lot of them are douche canoes and give the rest of us a bad name. But that doesn't mean that they necessarily deserve to get ran over. So keep your eyes peeled. Everybody be safe. A lot of areas of the world, all the snakes are coming out. Northern Utah is a big one. Rattlesnakes are a thing, so keep an eye on your pups while you're out hiking and everything else. Now that the snow is mostly gone, just a quick PSA, if you will. Also, for the love of God, and I am a terrible advocate for this, but for the love of God, remember your sunscreen. Remember to hydrate. Like I said, I'm terrible about this, both sunscreen and hydrating. But let's just say that someone very near and dear to me is going through some horrific things due to lack of sunscreen. So, please remember to use it. It doesn't end well. You might end up looking like a piece of saddle leather or a daytime talk show host, or you may end up having to get some shit cut out of your skull. And God forbid, 30 straight days of radiation therapy. So let's all remember to wear some sunscreen. And like I said, stay hydrated. If your pee looks like coffee, it's a bad day. Probably should drink some water. Like I said, I try. I definitely try. I'm not the best at it, but by damn it, give it a go. You never know. It could help. It certainly can't hurt. Also, I don't feel like I should have to say this, but a lot of people possibly don't realize that your dogs can't talk. Well, at least mine can't. So if yours can, cool, I'm jealous. But their feet can burn very easily. We see this a lot around here. People taking their dogs to the farmers markets and hiking and everything. Through the parking lots to the hiking trail, the asphalt will burn the shit out of their feet. Come on. My dog, personally, won't have anything to do with the booties. If your dog will, get him some booties. They're relatively inexpensive. It will keep their paws from being scorched off the bottom of their legs. Also not a bad idea. If you're at the pool, the concrete surrounding the pool is hot. Don't lock them in the damn car with the windows up. I realize this is all stupid shit that everybody already knows, because no one who listens to this show needs to be told common sense. You listen to this show. Of course you have common sense. We all have common sense here on this show, because as we all know, the opinions and views expressed on the show are just that. It's purely for comedic reasons. Sometimes there's some good information. Sometimes there's a lot of self-deprecating, but that's just what I do. It's kind of what we do. It's all meant to be in good fun. However, use common sense. Please, I realize that they don't, along with checkbook balancing or how to budget, most schools don't teach that as they should. But again, just try and use some common sense. It's not that hard, I promise. That being said, as I assume you all have caught on to the fact now that we have been doing a lot of events recently. Hill climb events mostly, but that's kind of our thing. We love it. It's a lot of work. It's dirty. But it's a hell of a lot of fun, and somehow we view it as a vacation. Anyhow, we are in a position to host or help host these events. So if you are looking at putting on an event and possibly need some sound, possibly need somebody with a microphone and a voice, feel free to hit us up. We have been in both the hill climbing and the car show and DJing for a long time. We have the means, we have the abilities. Hit us up, blowdoutpodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up on Facebook. We would love to help out. If you guys are putting on some charity events, if we can make it happen, we'd love to come help. Also, I would normally wait for a little bit later in the show to say this, but if you would like to advertise on the show, if you have a company or are part of a company that has goods or services that cater to North America, 97% of our listeners are in North America, although we are global. But if you would like to advertise on the show, I promise that we can work something out, or we can find a budget that fits well within your marketing budget and could possibly reach a lot of people. Again, we're well over 100 cities and over 13 countries now. So again, hit us up, blowdoutpodcast@gmail.com, or Facebook, on X, on TikTok. Lord, we're kind of everywhere. If you guys would like to try and put something together, please let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Also, what I would love to hear from is anyone who may or may not have some inside information. And I already know a few, but I would like to get some more views on the terzipatide, which I hate to say it, but I've been giving it some thought. I'm trying to figure out how that'll work in with Fatty with a Natty, but I'm definitely thinking about it. My poor back and stuff isn't quite what it used to be, so I'm thinking about that. If anybody has some insight on that, or anyone else has some insight on that, feel free to reach out to me, because I'm definitely considering it, at least just to give me a jump start. So there. I threw that out there, completely vulnerable like. Ugh. I'm going to take a pause, because that was weird. See, normally, that could have been where your company's advertisement was inserted. However, I know a lot of you really enjoyed the episode where we spoke with the folks from Life After Placement, and we are actively trying to do some more of that. I know I've been threatening for a while. As soon as the hill climb scene calms down just a little bit, we're going to get everyone together and do that. I was hoping to do some interviews and some stuff from the actual hill climbs and splice them all into an episode, but things are just pretty much non-stop at those events, so it's really hard to try and pull something together. So we're going to kind of wait till the season calms down a little bit, then we'll get a bunch of guys together and have some hill climb talk, some Supercross talk, some more shop talk, of course, more shenanigans. Also, I am working on putting together an episode with one of Northern Utah's foremost experts on domestic violence, because that type of stuff, sadly, is at an all-time high. And with the current state of things, meaning economy, summed up with economy, price of rent, price of groceries, everybody's broke, everybody's kind of running on edge. So, sadly, there's a lot of that stuff that is rearing its ugly head unnecessarily, because everyone is just running so on edge. But we're going to get her on and talk about some stuff, talk about some numbers. Obviously she's going to teach us how to do it right, because I know I'm going to hell, but it was funny. It's not funny. However, hopefully she'll be able to come on and give us some insight and some statistics, some sad statistics, and of course some resources and possibly some ideas on how to avoid those situations. So that'll be a good episode. All of those will be good episodes. So keep your eyes peeled for those coming up soon. We're also still toying with the idea of shooting and posting up on YouTube. And we'd like to get your guys' thoughts on that. Obviously, sometimes it's probably best that we don't, especially now that it's warm and the podcast pants have come out. But technically, it's still not X-rated. So, for anyone who would like to see some video of the show on YouTube, reach out and let us know if that's something you'd like to see. God help us all if it happens, but by damn it, you never know. We could have some fun with it for sure. Strangely, circling back to the month of June and being vulnerable, it's also Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And I think most of us, I would dare say, have at least at one point or another had some struggles with our mental health. Not just men, but this month apparently it's just men, which is dumb, but we'll stick to that theme. But if you guys are struggling, please reach out to someone. I myself have struggled with it over the years, and still, again, if we're being completely honest and vulnerable, and it's not an easy thing. I don't generally like talking about it because, as men, we're supposed to be tough and the providers and blah, blah, blah. You guys know what I'm talking about. And thank God, over the years, it has become a little less taboo to say that, we're no longer going to get beat down if someone, God forbid, sees a shed a tear. Or I told you, my kid just graduated high school, and I was very concerned that I was going to be a bawling idiot. Not because I cared that anyone would see me, but because I might have been a chocolate mess. But as a Gen Xer, or if you have young children, apparently they think we're boomers. But as a Gen Xer, we're not expected to have emotions, apparently. or we, along with boomers, were raised in a time where it wasn't okay. It wasn't okay to show emotions, or if you did, you were called names that aren't so PC anymore. And frankly, at 50 years old, don't make sense anymore because those things are awfully resilient. But that's what we used to call each other, along with other things that are no longer PC, if you showed vulnerability and emotion. So it's a hard subject that no one wants to talk about. But if you are struggling with these things, please reach out to someone. There are lots and lots of things available, and you're more than willing, or more than welcome, rather, to reach out to me. I'll talk to you about it. Honestly, I'll talk to damn near anyone about damn near anything. So if you just need someone to talk to, or if you're looking for some resources, granted, I'm by no means an expert, and I may not be a good option, but damn it, if I can help, I will. I'm more than happy to help anyone any way I can, even if it's just talking. So keep that in mind. Hey guys, there's enough garbage going on in the world that you don't need to be fighting internally by yourself. Speaking of being bad about taking my own advice and ruining my algorithm, with my phone sitting here listening to all that stuff, man, I've got a rough day in front of me tomorrow as far as algorithm is concerned. It's gonna be all over the place. That's what I need. I need a VPN sponsor for the show so that those things don't happen. Because as we all know, you're gonna get zucked up. Your algorithm's gonna be all zucked up. Ugh. Especially talking about some of the stuff I've talked about in this episode, which, in all fairness, isn't the normal. But I like having these little solo sessions. They're short. They're usually mostly filled with ridiculous public service announcements that you guys already know. But gives me a chance to get on here and shout out some stuff. Hopefully gives you guys a chance to, you never know, maybe learn some stuff. Or at least get reminded that I'm still here. Speaking of which, since we all know that I'm possibly the world's biggest ping pong ball, because I like to bounce all over the place, if you need something to watch, you should check out Kiss the Ground on Prime, I believe is where I'm watching it. It's very interesting. You guys know, a lot of you know, over the years, I bounce around a lot on global issues, on climate issues, on things of that nature. This is interesting. I probably should have already known about this, but I feel like it's pretty new. It's all about carbon recapture. It's pretty wild, guys. You should check it out. Also gives me a lot of food for thought as far as hill climbing and things like that. You'll kind of understand what I mean if you give it a go. Don't worry, I'm not turning vegan or or eating a bag of kale as we speak about this, but it's definitely interesting information and possibly something that we can help with on a small level that may help future generations, including our kids, if not their kids. So, random side note. Also, I'm a huge Woody Harrelson fan, and he narrates it. So, that's always a plus. It's, like I said, it's really interesting stuff. I've always been a huge fan of biology and microbiology. Realize that probably sounds weird, because, again, I'm just a fatty with a natty, but it's always been fascinating to me. It's really cool stuff, and I suppose if I could go back and do it all over again, I might be a biologist. or a microbiologist or a marine biologist. Remember, kids, use your brains, not your body. I love to tell my kids that, although sadly, if you added up all of the schooling that I've had over the years, it would probably equate to more than what I could have just done right out of high school. I just thought that all that wasn't for me. Now, all these years later, well, dummy. Anyhow, I suppose that's enough rambling for me, guys. I hope you've enjoyed at least parts of it, hopefully all of it. Again, thank you to everyone, everywhere that listens. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do making it. It's a lot of fun. We appreciate each and every one of you. We will be coming back very soon. This is episode 51. We'll be coming back very soon. Episode 52 with Maddie Without a Natty and Miss Lady, and possibly some surprise guests. Again, if you'd like to advertise or sponsor, feel free to reach out. blowedoutpodcast@gmail.com, on Facebook, on X, on TikTok. I believe TikTok's under my name, but you guys get the gist. Drop us a line. Again, we'll be back soon. Good luck to all the boys with the hill climbs coming up. Montana, Idaho, then back to Montana. Shout out to all those guys. Shout out to the Goon Climbers and Pro Graphics and Dirt Flirts TV. Oh, of course, I'm going to forget somebody, but thank you guys for having us. Let's put something together real soon, everyone. Again, hope you guys enjoyed it. Be good to one another. Hydrate. Wear your sunscreen. Love you guys. We'll talk soon. Cheers.